welcome to today's On This Day in Tudor History with me, Claire Ridgway. I think you'll know me by now, but I blog about Tudor history, I research Tudor history, I write about it. I'm a Tudor history nut. Now, where am I going to take you back to today? Well, I'm going to take you back to 1560. On this day in Tudor history, the 12th of August, 1560, so we're in the reign of Queen Elizabeth I there, Thomas Phaer, translator, lawyer, physician and paediatrician, made his will after suffering an accident which made his right hand completely useless. This put an end to his translation work. Now, his date of death is unknown, but he died at around the age of 60 at his Kilgarran estate in Pembrokeshire, Wales, within weeks of his will being drawn up. And he was survived by his wife and 3 daughters. Now, I find Phaer a fascinating man. He is one of those men that people generally haven't heard of, but he is a fascinating man. He started out his working life as a lawyer, and he published 2 legal handbooks before changing direction completely in the early 1540s and becoming a physician and a medical writer. In fact, he's become known as the father of English Pediatrics because of his work. His medical works include the Book of Children, which is the first book on paediatrics written in English, and it was first published in 1544 in a volume containing his translation of Johann Guro's The Regiment of Life, and 2 other medical works that were also by Phaer, a goodly brief treatise of the pestilence and a declaration of the veins. Sound fascinating books. His biographer Rick Bowers noted how this volume of medical texts was widely popular, and in fact it was a medical bestseller in its day, so he's an important chappie. Now, I'll give you a link to read Phaer's The Book of Children for yourself. It's really quite interesting, actually. I really enjoyed dipping into it. Rick Bowers, who edited it for a 1999 edition, wrote of how Phaer's mission is to popularise paediatric care and inform his fellow citizens of healthcare issues specific to the treatment of children. So he wrote it in English rather than Latin, the usual language for medical works. He wrote it in English so that the people, the citizens of England, would be able to use it. And he was a physician who believed that treatment for children should be different, that it shouldn't be the same as adults. Now, Bowers explains that Phaer didn't write about pregnancy or childbirth, but instead he focused on infant survival and quality of life. Now, I've had quite a flick through his book, and he covers all sorts of things, and I'm just going to list some of them. I can't list all of them, but he covers breastfeeding, including remedies to increase milk production. One of those remedies being parsnip and fennel roots sodden in broth of chickens and afterward eaten with a little fresh butter. Remedies for scales on the newborn's head, sore heads, warts, nightmares, epilepsy, palsy, cramp, breeding of teeth, i.e. teething, eye problems, ear problems, and in fact one remedy for ear problems is to boil up the skin of an adder in oil and then to use those as ear drops. He covers throat problems, coughs, stomach problems, worms, pissing in the bed, as he calls it, and if you want to stop your children bedwetting, then a cockerel plucked and burnt to a powder, or pounded stones of hedgehog are apparently very good for this. Alternative, if you don't want to try those, the claws of a goat made into a powder and eaten in pottage is just as good, according to Phaer. He covers smallpox, measles, burning and scalding, consumption, lice, you name it, and he covers it and has got a remedy for it. So it's just wonderful. A few different remedies for each complaint. Now, Phaer was also a renowned translator, and he'd completed translations of 9 books of Virgil's Aeneid before his death. I don't know whether I said that right now, Aeneid. He was also a writer and contributed verses to Precepts of War, 1544, and A Mirror for Magistrates, published in 1578. An amazing man. He must have been highly intelligent and a very driven man as well. After his death, he was laid to rest in Kilgerran Church, where a memorial tablet was laid in 1986 and reads, Thomas Phaer, MD of Kilgerran, 1510 to 1560, author of the first work in English on childcare. And then there's this quote, to do them good that have most need, that is to say children, and to show the remedies that God hath created for the use of man. So Thomas Phaer, a fascinating man, and I hope I've sort of piqued your interest and that you will dip into the Book of Children, because I'm going to give you a link to read his book for yourself so that you can enjoy it. I'm not suggesting that you try out his remedies. Some of them are very, very odd. Some of them I think, oh, well, that might work, but some of them are very odd, so please don't try them at home. Thank you for joining me today. You can, of course, subscribe to this channel by clicking round about there. You can hit the bell to be notified as videos go live, and please do give this video a like if you've enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow with another Tudor history event for you. See you then. Bye-bye.